Diamond in the back, sunroof top, digging the scene with a gangster lean. All right, we sound good. Let's party.
Americans, your system is messed up. I'm 100% convinced that 95% of the people you see balling is fake. Like 100% fake.
Economy shit. Look at all these repos. There's over 2,000 repossessed cars here today, right? From all the banks you can imagine. Nestle, Chrysler Financial, Toyota Financial, right? They have over 2,000 repossessions here today. But this is like this every week. I've been coming to the auction for 14 years. Repossessions have been like this forever, since the beginning of time.
He goes, repossessions have been like this forever. People have always not been able to afford their vehicle. Now, this is something I harp on a lot, and I like to have a good time with it. If you're new here, welcome. All right, we might learn something, and hopefully we get a good laugh out of this, okay? But I'm a big believer in secondhand, all right? From cars, your house is probably secondhand, okay? This jacket, eBay, secondhand. My wife, you better believe she's used. I'm just joking. But here's a big thing, and I think this is going to get more and more popular. People are just choosing no car payment, and they're also just saying stuff it. Getting voluntary repos, which I actually agree with. I've done it. I'll talk about that in a little bit. But right here, this is the classic. Because you chose no car payment, and now you got a bunch of money. Dude's just dropping hundreds out of his pocket. All right? Let me see the comments, because I'm willing to bet half of the comments are like, oh, it won't even start. You know, there's a big reliability thing with these cars. That's like the argument to go and get a $500 car payment, which is genius. How do you get ahead? How do you get ahead in life, guys? In today's society, today's economic climate, best way to get ahead is to get a $535 car payment a month. It's actually genius, if you ask me. Starts every time, 70% of the time. Take a few of them hundreds and tune that carb. Wait, I have a truck payment, and guess what? Said truck doesn't run. Even new cars can have problems, guys. Okay, get a Toyota. That's the classic. Yep, no car payment, no recalls either. Yeah, new cars get those recalls. It's kind of, I guess that's probably always happened. Roll them windows down. You'll be paying somebody else's car payment. Wait, that's enough money to buy a couple more square bodies. Hold on, let me see. Let's see some good comments here. All that money is being saved for repairs instead of a payment. See, that's where people get things a little twisted. I'm someone who is always, most of these comments are going to say the same thing. It's going to be 50% of people, before we get into this one, another guy, this guy's doing a voluntary repo. But there's this big argument of, I'm going to have to make all these repairs. And I'm somebody who's always had like a 15-year-old car, sometimes even older. And I'm going to tell you right now, if your car payment's $500 a month, that's $6,000 a year. I've never owned a car that has cost me $6,000 every year in repairs. That does not fucking happen. You mean to tell me your transmission's going out 2 times a year? I'm not talking BMW here, guys, okay? I'm talking like a Ford. If your transmission goes out $3,500, do you honestly think it's going to happen again that year? That's just bad luck. That's just bad luck. But I'm all for this. And I'm somebody who said, you know what? I'm 25. I'm not 25. 10 years ago, I go, I'm 25. I've got money in the bank. Shorty, what you drank? I'm going to buy a used BMW that I shouldn't drive. And I did. And guess what? I ended up doing the voluntary repo because I'm realizing what a lot of people are realizing. It's not worth it. At least it was a cool car, because this dude, a lot of people have payments on like Kias, a Hyundai, $600 for a Hyundai. Dude, if I've got a car payment of $600, it better be a coupe, a cabriolet, convertible. Okay?
So I'm doing what a lot of people are doing now. I'm turning in my car, so that way I have no more car payments and I could save that money. This is my car right now. 2017 Kia Optima, runs perfect. I love it, runs great. The problem is my payment is $450 a month and I still owe 5 years of payment.
Could you imagine though? Remember what the Italian guy in the beginning said, 95% of people's wealth is fake in America. We're going to bring him back up. I like that guy. I'm of the same school of thought as him. Okay. But right here, you would never think to yourself when you see this car driving down the road, that guy can't afford that car. That's where I'm kind of getting at with this. It's a little intense. And quite frankly, I'm getting sick of it, and I'm going to drop kick somebody, and it might be you. I'm just kidding. But I hope we can learn something here. And I think this trend needs to get more popular, to be honest with you. I think we need to up the ante.
Payments. Do the math.
Pay off all your debt, buy your cars in cash like a G. You know what I'm saying?
Americans, your system is messed up. I'm 100% convinced that 95% of the people you see balling is fake, like 100% fake. And today I will explain to you why. I own 12 houses. I do entry-level real estate. I buy these houses that I rent out to entry-level families at discount. I also work with Section 8 to get that rental income. This year, in terms of income revenue, officially entered the top 2-3% of society. I don't know about you, but to me, if your car represents more than 5% of your wealth, you're doing something wrong. If you're getting a $100,000 car and you own less than $2 million in assets, it is hitting you financially. And the same thing with houses. This
little teenager that works at...
Dude, this guy went extreme with it. I made a video recently where I said 10%. I said, let's say you have $100,000 and you take 10% of that and you're responsible and you buy a used car. That's a $10,000 car. This guy's saying 5%. And he's in the 2%, 3% tax bracket. Okay, how much money do you have to make? Nestor's not here. To make a year to be in the 3% of people. That's what I want to know. Because that's got to be a lot of money. Dude's got to be making like $200K. Lot of bread, dude. Let me see. Based on from 2022, approximately $300,000 a year was required to be included in the top 3% of earners. I didn't say it. The Italian man said it, okay? And I actually agree with him. I do, and I agree with the other black gentleman. Be a G, be a gangster, buy it in cash. I don't care if it's a hoopty. That's what real players do. Or don't. Be a part of the 95% of people who can't afford a Kia. Do it. It's a good laugh on my end. I'm not like laughing at you, okay? I get it. Most of the time, it's not even your fault. It's like, why'd the chicken cross the road? Everyone else was doing it. Duh. It's kind of normalized to not even have $35,000, but you can get the $35,000 car. That's my favorite. You can't afford the $10,000 car, but you can afford the $35,000 car. Because the $10,000 car, you're not going to get financed on, but you don't have $10,000. But you got $7,000, so you get the $35,000 car. It's actually kind of genius, and I don't blame most people. I think most people kind of got duped, and even me, I had to learn the hard way. They go, yeah, dude, here's the BMW, bro. You're 25. Come on, live a little. When I knew better. I fucking knew better. But I stick to the 10% rule now. That's what I stick to. You do whatever you want.
You financially. The same thing with houses.
This little teenager that works at the gas station just made fun of me because I've got a old school key fob, she says. It still has buttons. I didn't realize that key fobs don't have buttons nowadays, but I was just confused at why she thought that was funny, and she was like, well, how old is your car? And I was like, it's a 2014, and I was like, but my other cars are way older than that. I've got a 95 and a 2000, and they've given us less issues than any of the newer cars we've ever had.
All right, y'all boys, this is...
Before we get to this guy, the classic encourage you to get the car. Just go get the car, dude. That's another one, too. It's like, just live. Fuck it. I'd rather have the car now than when I'm old. But I'm going to say it again. In a world where everything's fucking bananas expensive, the smartest thing you can do is pay $450 a month for a Kia Optima that you can't afford. I think it's honestly genius and the best way to get ahead. But how that lady just said she got made fun of, I've dealt with this my whole life. I've always had old cars. Always. Always. One time I had a 2017. Terrible mistake. Paid it off immediately. It was only $20,000. Okay? And it did take all of my money. Not the best decision in the world. to just go. How many of you with 20 grand are going to go, I'm just going to go spend 20 grand, all of my money on a car? It's not smart. I went broke because of it. Because, like, getting a car is supposed to move you forward. Well, it goes in reverse too, right? You could do donuts even, go in circles. But what I'm saying is it's supposed to get you ahead. It's not supposed to move you backwards. It's supposed to get you there, not keep you stuck. That's the funniest part about the car. But I deal with this now. I drive a 2007. I personally love it. Grand Marquis, super reliable car. Okay. Got it for $9,600. Triple chilling. Okay. A little less than 10% of my, well, not even including my house, just my liquid, right? I'm not like including like assets. People don't even fucking own assets. Forget about assets. All right. I'm talking liquid money. Okay. My point is this happens to me now, and this happens to a lot of younger people. I think there is like a shame on driving. What you drive matters, this perception of what you drive, you know. But the way I look at it is like, if you drive a BMW, right, does that make you successful, or do you just drive a BMW? Because nowadays anybody can get one. Anybody can get one. You don't even know what's what anymore. It's kind of where I'm getting at. I just think it's kind of funny. But this is something you hear a lot too here. And I've been made fun of, guys, for these older cars. All right? But the funniest part is I'm sitting here like, I'm hood rich, right? But they don't know that. They look at me as if I make like, it's so funny how the world works. And I think that is a big reason why so many people go and put themselves into this genius idea of exhausting all their finances that they don't have. I'm no financial expert, but I tend to never sweat. I don't sweat the bill as much as most people do. And I don't know. And I'm no genius. I didn't even go to college. That's the best. I'm buying jackets on eBay. It's a beautiful world. Anyways, get the whip, bro.
Something that I feel very strong about. Just go get the fucking whip. Literally, like, fuck what everybody else is talking about. If you want the Scat Pack, the Hellcat, the Mustang, the Marrow, the BMW, whatever it is, go get that shit. Why? Because most people are hiding from their dreams.
Right? They have over 2,000 repossessions here today. Repossessions have been like this forever.
The same people that's giving you advice are the same people that don't take their own advice. If somebody tells you that, bro, that's impossible, you're not going to be able to do that, bro, that's how they feel about themselves, basically. Look, we already work our ass off. Every day we working our ass off. You deserve to get what you want. Go get the whip, bro.
I did do that, bro. I went and got the whip, and guess what it did? It fucked me in the ass because I couldn't actually afford it. And that's the truth for most people. And I'm willing to bet statistically, I'm not saying he can't afford his car, but how many people are really going to buy the Hellcat in cash? I'd say, what, seven individuals in the greater United States? 7 people. What's the probability of him being one of them? But I do take my own advice. I buy the old car. I keep my money. I'm triple chilling. I am the dude who had the 2 jobs his whole life, but still managed to have more money than my friend who went to college. We live in a society now where even if you're making crazy money, right? What's the probability of you starting to make 20 grand a month, right? Let's say you start making $20,000 a month. I'm talking big money here. Most of you are like, $20,000 on it. That's my point. Even if you're making 20 grand a month, you don't go buy the Hellcat. Wait until you're literally rich. What's 10%? Let's say you make $250,000 a year. What's 10% of that? $25,000. That's the car you should be driving. Right? When you see these old people with Porsches and shit and really nice cars, they are literally rich. That's only 5-10% of their portfolio. That's the difference, is kind of where I'm getting at. And I think it's funny. I advocate for you to keep your bills as low as possible. Like, I'd rather you drive the hoopty, but have $15K cash chilling in the trunk of said hoopty. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. There's more of us out here than you think. And I encourage it. I think it should become more and more normal. You know, we're going to go back to that Italian guy after this. But there's something about, you know, when people go, you know, when people are like, I'm going to go to another country. It's like they have so much more culture and it's not just work, work, work. Yeah, well, you know what? They're not slaves to their Hellcat. You know what I'm saying? They're not slaves to their Hellcat. In these foreign countries, I've only been to Mexico and Costa Rica. Every car on the road was a tiny little car, stick shift, and it was old. 10 years old minimum. Nobody had a new car. A lot of cheap motorcycles driving around. That is the fundamental difference. They're happy because they're living within their bracket. Most of us are not rich. Most of us are not rich. But yet a lot of people look it. That is where people are going sideways. And a lot of people fall victim to this shit, dude. And they do go get the car, and it does keep them fucking stuck. It does. I would hate that, dude, to have to like live up to that shit. And just, I'm not saying you can't get rich. I'm not saying that, guys. I'm just saying it's, this is what's going on right here. I want to, bro, but I got 70K for this. Okay, I don't even know what that is. I don't even know. This comment section's looking real rough. Apparently, a lot of people are doing this. I got my Scat Pack 4 months ago, and I just sold it today. LOL. It's cool, but I realized Honda does the same thing as the Scat was doing. I could have been putting $800 in total expenses for the Scat to something else each month. That is what I'm getting at. There you go. Smart. Really smart. Let's go to this really smart Italian man. Remember everybody wants to leave America. They know culture. Well, let's listen to one of them for a second.
Living a wealthy life.
Right here. When Italians are broke, we are broke. But in America, you just get into debt. Classic, dude. I like this fucking guy. What's his name? Yashi Project. I'll leave a link to him down below.
Lifestyle on money you don't have. Here's the second question. What is the age of your car? Here's the thing. I have 12 houses. I still drive my 2001 BMW M3. I bought that car for less than the average used car. It was 10.
He's got 12 houses. Casually. He's like, I got 12 houses, dude. I drive a 2001. That's the best, dude. That's the best. And remember, this is the guy a lot of Americans want to go live. You see what I'm saying? They want to go live like said gentleman. Yeah, that's the funniest part. If you were to hear this out of most people's mouth, they'd go, I own 0 houses and I don't even own my car, but it's really nice. That's the best. That's the best. That's the fucking best. He's right. I think most of it's bullshit. I really do. Like, I don't trust the way somebody, I cannot look at somebody and even have a gauge. I can't believe any of it anymore. There's no like looking at somebody pulling up in the new Camaro and being like, that guy does really well for himself. No, it's impossible now. I can't even, that's how far gone shit is.
10 grand. I work on that thing myself because I love cars. If I did not love cars, I would have had a Toyota hybrid from the same years.
Yeah, old BMWs are pricey to fix. Guilty. I've done it. 2007 335i. Look great. But be prepared for $2 grand every time you bring it into the shop, which will be a few times a year. Just throwing that out there. I'm fucking with the Toyota and the Ford. Yeah. Toyotas, Fords, you guys know the deal. It's a true story. People don't just say it at a coincidence. Just saying.
If your car is less than 5 years old, you're broke because of consumption, not because of society. Please don't tell me, yeah, but all cars are unreliable. My BMW M3 has 250,000 miles. The Volkswagen diesel I have back in Europe has 400,000 miles. It's life choices, not society.
Pay off all your debt, buy your cars in cash like a G.
That's my favorite though, man. I've only driven old cars, and dude, for the amount your car payment is I could go buy a $7,000 car every year. One every year and still have less than most people's car payments a year. So like this notion of all your money's going to go to repairs is just the dumbest thing I've ever heard. I think it, in like 100,000 miles, it's a lot. Every car I've had, 250,000. My last Mercury Grand Marquis, 300,000. Drove that bitch all the way, dude. All the way. Repairs, come on. What, $1,000 once a year? Come on. Do the math. All right. We're just trying to have fun here and encourage you guys, okay? If you do have a car payment and you're regretting it, good. Good. Take an L on your credit. Go fucking turn that piece of shit in. Fuck it. What, were you going to buy a house? Are you? This is financial advice. You're already fucked. Get unfucked. eBay. Used women. Secondhand. From your lady to your car. All of it. You want to live like the fucking Europeans, dude? Not the Europeans. You want to live this other country lifestyle, work isn't all that important? This is how they do it. I'm no genius. Just some jamoke on the internet who has seemed to figure it out with no real skills or college education. I barely went to school. I mentally dropped out of school in the 8th grade. I still went. You get my point. I said I learned it enough here. Life, I think people are making life a lot harder on themselves. I really do. And I'm just here to tell you, you are. You're fucking up. I blame your parents. I'm just kidding. Having a paid-off Corolla is not a flex. I would argue otherwise.
On the internet, it said a paid-off Corolla is not a flex. To who? 2009 Toyota Corolla is the first brand new car I had that I was able to pay off. And I flexed it till it was no longer flexible. Okay? You could ask me what time is it. I don't know, but that Corolla paid off. You understand me? What you want for dinner, Kev? That Corolla paid off, so you can make whatever you want. Let me help you also understand it had some flexibility in your budget. Y'all worried about the wrong flex. This comes from a person who had a paid off Corolla at the same time as I had a leased Maserati. Let me tell you what was a bigger flex. That paid off Corolla. That Maserati, the doggone oil change is $900.
I would say the least Maserati, but here's the funniest part, right? I got dogged recently. I have an old school 1985 Cadillac. And I don't drive it all the time. I got it for $9,000 on a bartender's salary with a secondary stream of income at the time, 5 years ago, way before YouTube money. And now I've got internet money. Not just a little bit of internet money, a lot of internet money. I still drive the 2007, and I got the cool old paid-off car. But here's something people don't understand. This was his secondary vehicle, right? So Monday through Friday, he's driving to work in the Corolla. People looking at him like, he's regular. But on the weekends, they're like, oh, damn, okay, what does he do for a living? But a lot of people want to skip the old Toyota Corolla stage before they get to the dope black on black stage, which I'm guilty of. I've tried this, guys. It fucks you up. It's the way to get rich nowadays is not get this first. But when he said lease, I think leasing a car is better than buying a car if you're going to have payments. Like leasing a new truck is like half of the price than buying the F-150 and having payments on it. A lease is going to be half the price. That's the craziest part. So if you do care that much and you're so vain, you probably think this song is, yeah, if that's you, I would lease, dude. You'll actually save money. And then you'll have a new car every 3 years. But where I was getting at with the old school car, I pull up to the gas station, two gentlemen chilling, and the guy's like, man, that ride's sweet. And I'm like, yep. And then the other friend, the guy next to him goes, yeah, the only problem is those things ain't worth nothing no more. And I just look at him and I go, you know what else? I go, you know what else? I go, in order to own one of these, you have to have a second car. You have to have another car to own this car. I go, that's the crazy part. Then I just went about my business. But it was kind of just more like, even when you do have the nice car and you think people are going to judge you, they're always going to judge you, whether it's paid off, how it looks, that shit ain't worth nothing. You know, the truth is, though, is how are your pockets? How are you stressing about the bill, right? And I think that's the most important moral of this story is if you do want to one day have this car, the way to do it is the way we're talking about it. Just don't have a car payment until you're actually rich. Or do it and get featured on this channel and we can have a good laugh about it.
Not a flex. There ain't no way to flex an oil change. You just got to get that. Trust me. Don't worry about flexing. Worry about your budget. It's okay. If you got it for real, you got it. But paid off, less debt, flex.
Hey, I'm gonna keep on preaching this to y'all, man. It's 2025. If you got a nice little job, you got a nice little savings, you think you up and you want to go get you a little condo, I'm telling you, don't do it, bro.
If I could give one
You know what my favorite is? Is when people get like $5,000 to their name and they go, yeah, I want the Benz. It's getting reversed though, man. A lot of people coming out preaching, baby, preaching.
Piece of advice to all the young kids out there. I'm almost 50 years old. I'm 49. I'll be 50 years old in January. So what's that? 28, 38, 48. For 31 years, I've been making automobile payments. 31 years, I've been a prisoner to the car industry and the bank industry, and it's my fault.
Pay off all your debt, buy your cars in cash like a G. You know what I'm saying?
This right here is what I like to call a Section 8 sedan. It's a 2019.
I just thought that one was funny. But remember, moral of the story, class, people can't even afford the Section 8 sedan and have car payments on it. But I think we're going to end on that note. I do think that more and more people are getting hip to it. Like, do you care what car I drive? You don't. Do I care what car you drive? I fucking don't. I don't care. No one really cares. You care. The cars I drive are for me. They're not for you. They're for me to get around in. They're for me to get ahead in life and get somewhere. Literally. Metaphorically and literally. But I want to do some quick math. That guy just said 31 years. And let's just say his average car payment was $300 a month. Okay? $3,600 a year in car payments times 31 years. It's $111,000. That's on the low end. I don't know what his actual car payments are. Okay, nowadays it's much more than that. But $111,000, I mean, you can argue all day long that you would spend the same amount either way, right? Like I did the math. In the past 20 years, I have spent $47,000 in cars in 20 years. But I own them. The ones I have now, I could go get, my classic car. I could go sell it for more than I bought it. That's more of it's not even an investment. It's just a car for me. I'm never going to sell it unless I absolutely have to. But I'll get more than my money back. That's the funny part, right? But part of those $47,000 that I've spent, it was around $50,000. I have the car still, and they're going to last me quite a long time. But I'm willing to bet by the time I'm 31 years into driving, I'm not going to spend as much as that gentleman did. That's kind of my point, because you hear that argument a lot. And I'm totally fucking stoked. Anyways, you guys leave your thoughts. Brag about how much money you've saved from not having Geico and not having a car payment. Yeah. I don't mean to be an asshole and say you're stupid or you're retarded, but I wish this was a big conversation. You know what I mean? Like, I wish this was a great big joke conversation when I fucked up and kind of fell into this rut. I did have a voluntary repossession. Guilty. I still laugh about it till this day, and it is true. It did take about 7 years for my credit to get good again. It is true. But it forced me to learn how to not rely on credit. And really, like, you want to talk about hustle? Live a life without credit. Oh, man. But that's the other problem. They'll give you a car with shit credit. That's the best. You know what? Came to the conclusion. Go get the Hellcat. Go get the Mercedes-Benz. Stuff it. Fucking do it up. Get featured on this channel. It's classic. Hell of a talk. Unreal.